What's up and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle classic collection, Donatello. And these are my favorite versions of the Ninja Turtle action figures that have come out so far. It says here, inspired by the original Tmnt animated series from 1988 with 34 points of articulation. We can see this all day long. I mean, this is a 1988 animated series turtle, and it doesn't even need the sticker. We can just tell by looking at it. It looks amazing. It looks exactly like what those 88 turtles should look like. I remember the first rendition of the Ninja Turtle action figures that we got, and I loved those. I wish I still had mine. Unfortunately, I don't. But what this does for me is kind of what the Motu Classics does for the original vintage He-Man. For me, this just kind of updated the original turtle, gave us more articulation, better detail, a bigger, more robust figure. So I'm here for these all day. Absolutely love them. They are my favorite set of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. As we turn it around to the back, I'll go ahead and try to zoom in on this blurb. It says, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back like never before in collector quality figures featuring 34 points of articulation, signature weapons, and classic sewer cover bases. These perfect old school cartoon recreations will leave you screaming cowabunga. About the Turtles. Catapulted from indie comics origins to superstardom by the original Murakami Wolf Swenson MWS animated series, Tmnt ran on air for nearly a decade, 1987 to 1996, and ranked #1 in ratings for an unprecedented 5 straight years. Featured in over 190 episodes, the fun-loving, shell-kicking teens are still recognized around the world and fondly remembered by fans with every bite of pizza. And then down here at the very bottom, you can see all 4 turtles in the wave. Really cool. I mean, I just love them. They're just everything I feel like these turtles should be. So, now all there is left to do is get this bad boy pulled right out of the box. And then there is the manhole cover slash figure stand. These are all the same. They come with each turtle, and then it will say the turtle's name on the bottom, like Donatello for this one here. I'll go ahead and pull that out because they do tend to stand better on the figure stands. Throw that out of the way. Let's see, do we have bands? Doesn't look like we've got any bands, so there is the bow staff. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But first, let's get old Donnie and his broken arm pulled out of the box. Broken arm Donatello. There we go. A little better, a little better. Let's see what we can do. As far as getting his bow staff in his hand. Let's see how hard this is going to be. The other turtles really held on to their weapons well, so I'm hoping Donatello can also. It's just he's got the two-hand grab on his weapon. Yeah, we got to get it just a little tighter down here on the bottom. And there he is, pulled out of the box. First impression, Donatello's awesome. You know I love the green and purple. Every time I've opened one of these, it seems like the one that I just opened moves its way into my favorite figure in the line. That stopped with the last figure. Raphael is holding strong. That bright red contrasting with the green. I really love it. I think they did a great job on it. So Raphael is going to definitively be my favorite figure from this set, from the cartoon collection. So I was wondering, once I got Donnie out of the box, how I was going to feel about him. I definitely like him a lot. He's definitely a cool turtle. I was hoping that the green and the purple would look a little bit different together. Donatello is a lighter shade of green than some of the other ones, especially lighter than Michelangelo. As we turn him around to the back, you can see he does have a spot to stick his bow staff in the back if you don't want to pose him with it in his hands. I more than likely am going to keep it in his hands just because I'm displaying them all differently. We've got Leo and Mikey back here right now. They don't have their weapons in their hands, but this isn't the final display. Now that I've gotten all 4 of these turtles unboxed, we have the 4 Ninja Elites unboxed and the 4 NECA turtles unboxed. We're probably going to do a little bit of arranging differently here in the background, just so we can clear out some room for some other figures. But I like to keep all these different versions up here just so we can compare as we're doing this video. So I'm going to go ahead and get him set up here. And now I think it would be best to just go ahead and go over his articulation now, I guess. We see that he's standing without his figure stand, which is really good. So let's go ahead and pull this bow out of his hands. We'll turn him around, see how well it fits. Pretty good. You always worry that it's going to slide out the bottom, like this might not be strong enough or something, but it looks like it's doing a pretty good job holding on to it. As we go to Donatello's head, he can look to the left. He can look to the right. He can do a full 360 with his head. He does kind of have an angrier look on his face. That's the only thing I guess I would change possibly, is all of these turtles look a little bit angry. And I just remember them being a little bit happier in the cartoon series, but I think they tried to go with the way their mouths were on the original cartoons. So his arm can rotate all the way around. It can go all the way up. It can go all the way down. We do have a bicep swivel right there, as well as a double jointed pinned elbow, so he can reach up pretty good to his head. Actually, he can reach all the way up to his head. No issues with that. As far as his hand, it will spin 360 degrees. And then his fingers are all 3 independently articulating. So the thumb will move down. You can also rotate the thumb around, and then the fingers will also move independently of each other. So you can put him in a little fist there, or as you can see back there with Michelangelo, you can make him wave, you can make him point, just however you want to configure your turtle. It's pretty cool. I love that they have all this articulation. His diaphragm cut here in the middle. He can party boy from side to side, as you can see. He can lean forward pretty good, but as far as leaning back, the shell kind of hits on the bottom of his shell here, and it just doesn't really go back any farther than that. Splits wise, he can go out pretty good, doing a really decent split there. We do have swivel in the hip, as well as a swivel at the thigh that can turn all the way around. We have a double jointed pinned knee that allows him to get that really good ninja knee bend. His foot will point down to the ground, as well as it can tip up to the sky. And then we have the 2 turtle toes that are going to articulate independently, just like the fingers. So really cool as far as it comes to Donatello and his movement. He's the exact same as the rest of the turtles, so he kind of did what we expected him to do as far as that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and get him stood up here. Maybe. Maybe. Come on, Donnie. Come on. All right, we're going to go ahead and get him stood up here. I'm going to pull in some of his brothers so we can do a little bit closer comparison between the 4. Then we'll go over our final thoughts, and that'll do it for this one. All right, so we've got the 4 brothers pulled up here together, all posed just a little bit different. We got Leo pointing at you. We got Donnie thinking about something and scratching his head. Michelangelo just being the classic nice guy and waving at everybody. And then we got Raphael over here ready to kick some butt. He's weapons out in hand. You know he's cool but crude with the bad attitude, and always my favorite. So Raphael, favorite for this line. Michelangelo was my favorite on the NECA line, and Michelangelo was my favorite in the Ninja Elite line. I really liked the face sculpt on the Michelangelo on those 2 lines. I felt like they did a really good job, and Michelangelo's personality lends to some cooler faces, I think, besides just this classic angry face. But we got all 4 turtles here, and hopefully you can tell they are all 3 a different shade of green. Michelangelo is definitely the darkest. And then we've got Leonardo and Donatello being kind of a different shade. Donatello's always more that baby poop green in my eyes. And then Raphael over here, I feel like is more of a pastel type green. So that's the 4 turtles pulled out here for you to look at all of them. I really like how they're posed up. I can't wait to get them home and get them set up in a diorama. I've been excited for, gosh, these guys I think have been out for 12 years now. They are finally out of the box, and I finally have a definitive answer to which one I like the best out of this set. And like I said, it's Raphael. And it might be followed by Donatello. Donatello might be my second choice in this line as far as that goes. He's looking really good, and purple and green are one of my favorite color schemes. So really awesome. Happy that they came out with these guys. We're going to go ahead and pull these guys back out of the way, go over our final thoughts on Donatello, and that's going to wrap this one up. All right, so here he is, Donatello, my second favorite out of this cartoon collection series from the 1988 cartoon. My second favorite for sure. I don't know. I don't know why he's trying to edge his way into first place over the course of filming this video. I don't know why I always like the one that I unbox the most. But it is what it is, guys. Raphael's gonna have to stay in as my favorite. There's just not much we can do about that. I'm gonna pull in this Leonardo just for a quick reference. This is a Ninja Elite movie, 1990 movie turtle. Now this guy has basically all the same articulation and everything as this guy. He's just more based to look like the 89 movie instead of, is it the 89 movie? I could be mixing this up with the Masters of the Universe movie, and I think I am. 1990 movie turtle. Sorry guys. So there is a difference there. These guys were all the same shade of green, and they did do their stuff a little bit different to represent the movie. You can see as far as another difference, we have a little more extra sculpt down here. The toes are actually, the toenails are actually sculpted onto the toes, where these are not. They're more flat, just because the cartoon, you know, they're trying to go with what that cartoon was doing, not have too much detail on the figure. Are you gonna stand there for me, Leo? Yeah, not have too much detail on the figure. So the muscles you'll see are a little bit more accentuated. These ones are a little bit more smoothed out. But I've got to go with the classic collection here for my favorite. I just like everything about it, and these guys are definitely fun. If you're looking for a 90s style turtle and you don't want to go with that expensive NECA, these guys are awesome, and I would recommend these to be better for kids anyway. These are going to be what you want for your kids to play with. The NECA turtles are kind of just a little more finicky, a little more stiff, and I'd be way more leery about those breaking than any of these guys right here. So let's go ahead and put Leonardo back in his little slot over here next to Mikey, and we will just go ahead and say Donatello is freaking amazing. We'll give him one little spin around here just so you can see him all the way around. Detail in the teeth. Really cool figure. The way he reaches up, can fully touch his head. I mean, you can bend and move these guys around in so many different ways because of all of the points of articulation. It's just great. I like this figure. I want you guys to like this video. Hit that subscription button so you're subscribed to the channel. Turn your notifications on so all the upcoming fun stuff that we're going to be going over will be on your list and you'll see it first thing. Don't forget to tell someone you love them. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time.